Hello, my name is Lisa Baudouin, and welcome to Lisa's Chat Room. Before we begin, I have to disclose I'm not an expert in anything, so anything I share with you, if you try, use, or buy, you do so at your own risk and peril. Also, too, I am not affiliated, endorsed, or reimbursed by any company or product that I talk about. And finally, if you get something from this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And make sure to throw a comment down below. I do read every single comment and reply to every single one. Okay, hi. I'm just giving a quick video of my updates on my home. If you're living in a bigger space, dark doors are fine. But when you have a very small, tiny house, my personal opinion is that white doors are the way to go. So for every door, what I did was first I cleaned it very well, and then I sanded it with a little bit of scuffing as well, which means I just did a little bit rougher in certain spots. Then I used the liquid sandpaper and then painted them, and for me I went with a nice soft white that was a semi-gloss. I also changed out all the doorknobs from an old-fashioned white glass doorknob to a modern silver chrome. And although the home is from the 1950s, and it is obvious of that, using those silverish chrome features helped to update the home and make it look more modern. I found that mirror while I was walking. I brought it home, I bought the mirror clips, and I put it up. This used to be a dark green, ugly, floored room. For the first bedroom, these walls were filthy and obviously the carpet just needed to go. So while wearing an N95 mask and rubber gloves, I pulled the carpet completely. I then used my awesome Bissell Compact Vacuum Cleaner. I love this little vacuum cleaner. It's very compact, easy to use, easy to clean. I do have a video of where I've changed out the hose to make it longer, and I will put the link for that in the description below. So I used that to completely remove all the debris and dust that was in the room. The next step was to paint the ceiling, the walls, and the closet. Now usually I do the ceiling first and then I move and make my way down. But because of the way I was moved so quickly from my apartment to my home, I had quite a few things in this room. So I decided to move all the furniture to one half of the room, completely paint one part and paint the other parts as I moved the furniture around, which was very difficult to do. Having to put 4 coats of paint on all of these, and actually I put 5. We actually got that done. Personally, I would suggest, if you can, move everything out of the room so that you have plenty of space while you do your renovations. It just makes life so much easier. But now, getting back to the painting renovation of this room. For the ceilings, I used a soft white ceiling paint that mimicked the same tint and tone as the framework in the doors, which for them, I'd used a soft semi-gloss white. And for the walls, I chose a soft light gray for many reasons. First, that again, due to the home being so small, having that same soft gray throughout the rooms creates a fluid balance as you go in and out of them. Plus, I feel this color makes the rooms appear to be bigger. The last reason is when you use a soft gray, the walls actually seem to disappear, so that anything you add to them seems to be enhanced. In this shelf, I have all my family pictures. There's my great-great-great-grandfather. There's my grandmother as a baby. That's her mom and dad. That's her whole family. My hand-painted glass. And then here I have my television set. Now for the flooring, I did a process called paperbag flooring. What I did was I bought Kraft paper and I did the poly. What I'm showing you right now, I've stacked the paper up and just put it out here on my kitchen table. I go like that and I get some of the debris off of it because you don't want it to get into the poly. What I'm basically doing with the roll is I'm making a triangle. If I cut that really straight, I would actually have 2 really good corners. But what I worry about most when I get to the corners, I do have a scissors and I just make sure that the corners are very lined up. Here's my paper bag floor and I love it. But they get scratches and little tick marks. I got it up on that board. Let it dry like a dummy. So you don't want to do that. There's always one good edge. which this is this one here. So you want to face that against the wall. And then again, I'm going to redo this. And what I'll do is I will just really lightly sand this. I will tack on new pieces that need to be fixed up. And then I'll put another, probably 2 to 3 coats on it, just building it up a little bit more. I like that it looks like it does. It's kind of weird how one piece got so dark and the rest was light. And I think the reason this is darker here is because at the time I did this floor, I would just put the poly on the floor and then the poly on the top. I wouldn't put it on the bottom of the paper. Now I put it on the bottom of the paper, flip the paper over with my gloved hand, smooth it out, and then I start from the middle and I start putting polyurethane, pushing it out this way, and then I just go around. I make sure the edges are sealed. I made the mistake of buying the matte finish. Buy the high gloss because that makes it look so nice.
At first, this second bedroom had not been much different than the first bedroom, but after using the same cleaning, painting, and paperbag floor techniques, this bedroom has now become a sanctuary for me to relax in after a long day of hard work.
The other room I've worked on is this. This was brown. The floor was so bad. There was some kind of cardboard on it and it was stuck. I bought a new floor, sanded the pieces down before I put them down, and then I painted the floor and then I polyed it with high gloss poly, like in the bedroom. Turned out perfect. I made this medicine cabinet because it had a really crappy old cabinet. And I just painted inside. I made that little shelf. And then I bought the mirror. And it's just hinges. Just make it your own. And then I wanted to show you this. This is my little art piece that I made. I had the little gems sitting around and a piece of wood. My back door, this was the door that had the really bad window in it that was broken up. I got that window for $2 at the Habitat store. This is a really great idea for these things. And then you just put them on, and that way you can create a Roman blind and you can lift it up, or you can just pull it down for the night and nobody can see in, and that's really important to me. Basement steps, like 2 weeks or something after I bought the house, they were completely fallen in. A friend came over and he just made new treads out of wood. And I repainted it. So this is really cool.
Also, I'd like to mention here that when it comes to paint colors or enhancements or any type of renovations, it's always a good idea to keep a journal or log of that information, either in a binder or on recipe cards. For me, I also keep this information in the utility area in my basement, and if I ever move, I'll make sure to make a copy for the next owner so that they know what issues that I attended to and also to what renovations I've done. For instance, this front side fence partition that I did from start to finish all by myself, which I talk about more in my DIY fence project videos that's in the DIY House and Home playlist, which you can find a link for the first video in the description below. Make sure to add the date, what happened, and what you did to fix it. Any kind of part numbers or paint colors also too is very handy to have in future reference. But I also like to have a copy for myself because if and when I move again, instead of starting from scratch, I can use those notes to reference whatever color paints I used or the things that I did that helped me along with renovations.
So this is the house, and then I've yet to get the windows, so I made window frames, just plastic on the windows, and I put it on the outside. That's all I can afford.
That's it for this video. Thanks again for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share, and post a comment below. And as always, please stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next time here in Lisa's chat room.